Hey, my name is Barry Ragsdale. Thank you all for coming out this afternoon. Today I want to talk about a professional learning community plan here at Spring Garden School for grades 6 through 8. And what a professional learning community is, it's something that's really big today in professional development in schools. It's a way to get teachers and all stakeholders involved in the decision-making process. So our purpose of implementing this PLC here at Spring Garden is to focus on our students in grades 6 through 8 and their performance on the Scantron series exam. And over the last 3 years, we've seen a decline in reading comprehension. So we really want to focus our PLC work on reading comprehension scores and seeing an increase in these. So let's talk a little bit about who's involved. And it involves stakeholders at all levels. I mean, looking at the chart here, the flow chart, looking at administrators, and it really starts with administrators in the organization and structure of the PLC. They're really heavily involved in the first steps and the end steps. They're involved all the way through the process, but when we get to our timeline, you understand a little bit more. But administrators really take the role of structuring and organizing the PLC to best fit the student mission, the school mission. And we roll to our instructional coaches. We have an instructional coach here that attends professional development throughout the year on best practices. And our instructional coaches are really going to serve as an aid to our professional learning communities as far as answering questions about best practices, providing professional development for our teachers, and so on. Our classroom teachers really going to shoulder a bulk of this work of the PLC. Your classroom teachers are going to be responsible for meeting, researching, reviewing data, and implementing these best practice strategies. And they will also meet back with each other and determine what best practices are working and seeing and producing results, and those that we need to chunk. So your classroom teacher is going to be a big part of this and the biggest part of this. Your last group, but not least, certainly our community members. We have a community organization here that meets frequently throughout the school year, and we want to take our community members and take their input because they see what we're doing here from a different angle and see what they think we can improve on, some areas that we can make change, and we want to take that input, and that will be a big part in how we structure our PLC and some of the things that we address. So moving on to our structure, it's really a bottom-up structure. If you look down here on the bottom, this is where the administrators are going to have a really big role in making sure that our PLC focuses on our purpose, mission, commitments, and goals. You know, they all got to be headed in the same direction. Your grade level teams, our teachers are going to be grouped together in PLCs based on subject area taught and grade level. So your PLC groups, they're going to be meetings, for instance, your history teachers, throughout the year, they're going to be assigned a PLC to meet throughout the year to implement best practices, research, and then they'll also be expected to present their findings and data to the school as a whole. So there'll be collaboration not only between group members in the same PLC, but for instance, your history PLC will cross and they will collaborate with the English PLCs, okay? And they will be expected to present that data, and we'll use those data to restructure our PLC as we go. So collaboration, as you see at the top of this, is essential to making this work. Collaboration at each level from all group members will be essential to make this PLC reach and attain our goals. So this is a condensed timeline of what you saw beforehand of our long detailed timeline. So this is just a short overview of how our PLC is going to work from beginning to end. The two phases that administrators really take a big role is in the beginning and the sustaining part here. The beginning is in establishing the goals and building these teams. And then the sustaining part, again, the administrator is going to be big in reviewing test scores, reviewing accomplishments of each PLC throughout the school year, and determining any adjustments that we might need to make. If you look in the middle of developing and growing, this is a big part that teachers shoulder. And teachers are really involved, our staff members are really involved all the way through, as well as our community members. But our teachers are really the ones that are implementing and ensuring that this plan striving to meet our goals that we set forth as a school. So you can see there, beginning, developing, growing, sustaining. These are the 4 categories that we have throughout our time. So what basically we do is, as we implement this plan throughout the school year, when we get to the summer months, during our summer professional developments, teachers along with administrators will meet to determine any kind of restructuring that we need to do. Through trial and error throughout the school year, we will decide what works, what doesn't work. And so it's an ongoing, continuous process that never ends. So how will we assess our progress as we move throughout the year? The first form of assessment would be informal assessment. This will occur with PLC members. We call it teacher talk, I guess, a lot of the times at the lunch table, in the hallways, just dropping by somebody's classroom and just chatting about maybe the strategies that we've implemented that's worked and the ones that have not been successful. So a lot of informal assessment at all levels, administrators, teachers. And then the administrative review. There's 2 forms here. The administrator will have an informal review of the process. They will have their scheduled observations. But a big form of this, each time the PLC team meets, the administrator will receive through email a document of the team minutes, what they discussed, what they planned, and what action they planned on taking. So that will be a way that the administrators review more formal. And then at the end, looking at our Scantron data, we'll take our Scantron scores from the beginning of the school year, the end of the school year, and see how our scores correlate to our PLC plan that we have implemented. So is what we're doing working, or we're seeing increased achievement levels by students in reading comprehension? Is it tabling off? So we will use that to make our adjustments at the end of the year. So that really sums up. It's a quick overview of my PLC plan, detailed PLC plan that you've seen there. So does anybody have any questions about any parts of this plan? I appreciate each of you coming out today. Thank you for your time.